Izabela Lundberg joining us on Try 102.5. Her book is The World Messenger. She's an American citizen and a refugee from the former Yugoslavia. She had to flee her home country because of the Balkan Wars, made her way through Europe, and finally to Denver, Colorado, where she now lives. Izabela, thank you so much for joining us. You were, and I guess still are, a refugee.
Yes, I am a refugee from former Yugoslavia, and I've been part of the Balkan conflict that started in early 90s, and then I had a chance to relocate and move in different countries, and then end up in the U.S. I was a teenager. Not for me was very challenging because I was consistently torn because I had to leave some parts of my family behind, but then I also had to focus on one objective, to get my diabetic sister to safety. And so healthcare for me was just running on adrenaline and surviving and making sure we get to safety. We as the refugees never wanted to be refugees and never did anything to be a refugee, yet had to work very hard to continue to survive and then later on to thrive.
Now, you live in Denver.
Yes, I do.
How is life now?
Life is amazing in so many ways. I am constantly evolving and push myself further, growing, and really leveraging and creating great opportunities as well as receiving great opportunities. I absolutely can't complain, and having opportunities also to really enjoy diversity and landscape that we have here.
Izabela Lundberg joining us on Try 102.5. She has worked to help to rehabilitate refugees from all around the world. She herself is an American citizen who was a refugee from the former Yugoslavia. Her book is The World Messenger. She had to flee Yugoslavia in the early 90s to get away from the wars that were happening there. The fear that a lot of Americans have is that we're going to let refugees into the country who are actually terrorists. Do you think that's a legitimate fear?
To be honest, it's always a possibility.
Yeah.
But if we do immigration process right, we will be able to know. I ran in some of the perpetrators in this country after I was rehabilitating refugees from the former Yugoslavia during the conflicts there. So it is always a possibility.
Yeah.
In the same time, what I really want to emphasize, Paul, you are now a father. You have a life. When we look at deeper, look at the numbers of scores of people. Who are they? They're usually women with the children.
Yes.
That is something we need to really look at slightly different. And to be honest, if we're partially responsible for the conflicts that are happening, we also need to be taken and be part of the solution that is happening.
Izabela Lundberg, author of The World Messenger, a former refugee herself, now an American citizen. Izabela, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Paul, for having me, and thank you for being a voice for the refugees around the world.
And you can find more of that interview and more about Izabela and her book, The World Messenger, on our website at try1025.com.